that everything that's led us to this point is orchestrated by the universe.
It's nice when you get to that place of knowing, and it's not as nice before you get there.
Yes.
And you being there doesn't necessarily make anybody that's listening to you know that. In other words, we talk about that from time to time, that as Esther stands on the stage and allows us to address you, and you're looking at this from your vantage point, as we were discussing with our friend earlier, whatever that vantage point is, Esther could look like someone who's just really sure of what she's talking about and really stubbornly holding to this opinion, and so giving a coherent presentation which from your point of view could just be another opinion which you can take or leave, or take some of and leave some of. In other words, we get how that might feel to you. But as we help you to at least entertain the idea that you are more than your physical body and that there's another point of view within you, and we encourage you to do some things like quiet your mind so that you stop your pattern of resistance, like that woman did while she was sleeping. But the problem with letting your resistance rise while you're asleep is it doesn't do anything about what your pattern of thought is when you wake up. Where if while you're meditating you allow your vibration to rise, now when you come out of meditation it's still in that higher perspective, so that then what you attract can be more acknowledged by you. So what we're getting at is, if we can encourage you in a convincing way to set time aside to quiet your mind, and as you quiet your mind you allow your vibration to rise, and then with that higher vibration you begin to receive impulses or thoughts that feel good and compelling, so you follow through on them. You make the phone call that you thought of, or you get up out of your chair and you get in your car and you go to the place that you were inspired to go, and something happens that leads you to something that leads you to something. When you put all of that together, then you have a personal experience where you have deliberately allowed your vibration to rise, and you are seeing immediate benefits of it having risen. It's not just an opinion now, because words don't teach. It's a personal experience. So we're talking a lot these days about, you can stumble into a situation where you're having a knee-jerk response to it, but then it's sort of really pretty much too late to do anything about it in that moment, because you've already had your knee-jerk response, you've already got your resistant vibration underway, and it really takes quite a bit of focus to pivot your way out of that. You could do it if it's not a very important thing, but if it's an important thing and you have a knee-jerk response to it, you're probably not going to pivot your way out of it. You're not going to just change the thought or find a thought that feels better because there's enough momentum going in your response. But if you have meditated that day or segment intended that day, we'll talk about that as we're moving forward. In other words, if you have been in a moment where you have identified how good you feel and how blessed you are and how wonderful your world is and how responsive the universe is to you, and now you're allowing the momentum, as you spoke so well, all of that momentum of all that's come before propel you into this next moment in a state of well-being, then you could be of such a sincere and calibrated vibrational point of attraction that you may not even notice the bump in the road. That's how well prepared you are for it. And so some of these things like hypnosis or meditation or segment intending, it is a way of getting out ahead of it. We want everyone to want their inner being to be the influencer of them. A very well-meaning person could guide you into expecting your well-being, and we trust that that's what you're doing for others. And we know it for sure because when you tap into their inner being, then you are making that signal maybe more approachable by them. But we're all talking about the same thing. It is raising vibration. And we don't want to give anybody the impression that they need to go to someone else in order to have their vibration adjusted. That's what humans are doing all over the place all day. You're adjusting your vibrations to each other too much. That's why you're not allowing your natural well-being. And so, it's a wonderful thing when people like you can approach a person and tune in to who they really are and what they really want, not the moment that they're living. Oh, that's such a gift. When you stood before Jesus dripping your illness, he saw not your illness, he knew your wellness. And you could say he hypnotized you into your wellness because he knew your wellness in such a powerful way that there was no equivocation in his vibration. There was no wobble in his vibration because he was in concert with who you really are and what you really want. And that's what really good teachers do for others. You hold the vision of where they want to be and you do not look at where they are. But let's talk about why you might look at where they are, because this is why it is so important for you to do your own practicing of your own tuning, identifying, isolating, and calibrating to your own higher frequency. Let's go back to the example we began with here today. If Esther were standing in that line and she were upset about something or just in a bad mood about something, so that vibration of not being appreciated were active within Esther, then when this woman started complaining, Esther would have been her best friend. Even if she didn't say anything vibrationally, you go girl, you tell them, you tell them, let them know what they're doing wrong here. And so without even knowing it, you are in essence joining forces either with the cooperative components of your inner being or something else. We like to say, what influence are you under? Are you under the influence of your own source energy?
So when Esther had those couple of thoughts where that could have led her into joining in,
they were so inconsequential in relationship with, in other words, you could not stand and hear that without having a flicker of it in your vibration. But her stability was someplace else. We're asking you to practice your stability so that you can find it easily. There's a phrase that you use in your physicaldom, and it's called giving people the benefit of the doubt. You know the phrase. Well, if you are giving your well-being the benefit of the doubt, if you're giving yourself the benefit of the doubt, if you're giving others the benefit of the doubt, then that means you are always reaching for your and their highest good. The benefit of the doubt, in our verbiage, we would be meaning you are leaving the doubt out. You are looking for the benefit. You are allowing yourself vibrational alignment with wanted, not unwanted. And so it's an interesting thing as you move about this world with others and as you want to assist them in a higher vibration. And your process is a good one. You find vibrational alignment with well-being. You know it unequivocally. You focus upon them with a relentless knowing of their well-being. Did we say to you yet today that one who's connected to your own inner being, to this stream of pure positive energy, is more powerful than millions who are not? When you think about your inner being, who is aware of everything that you've been asking for long before this moment in time, even long before this lifetime in time, there is a powerful point of attraction of well-being on your behalf that if you'll just relax and allow it, well-being will be your constant experience, you see. But as humans, you get so smart about this. You weigh the pros and the cons and the pluses and the minuses, and you try to figure out what everybody else is thinking. And every single time you try to even acknowledge what somebody else thinks about something, you entertain that vibration within you and you introduce a wobble. You just can't think about what you want and think about its absence without introducing some wobble in your vibration, which makes you not a vibrational match to your true power.